What the people want to see is who is responsible for these things that happen on Epstein Island. Who is involved? Why are these people in jail right now? And it's because they're part of the corruption party I've been speaking of. And it looks like Obama and his administration is part of that corruption.
President Trump is marking his 6th month in office with massive wins. And tonight, his administration is calling for former President Obama to be prosecuted following DNI Tulsi Gabbard's explosive report on the 2016 Russia hoax. We're expecting to get more information next week as whistleblowers come forward.
There's no question in my mind that this intelligence community assessment that President Obama ordered be published was manufactured intelligence that sought to achieve President Obama and his team's objective, which was undermining President Trump's presidency. And next week, we will be releasing more detailed information about how exactly this took place and the extent to which this information was sought to be hidden from the American people, hidden from officials who would be in a position to do something about it. We have whistleblowers, actually, Maria, coming forward now after we release these documents because there are people who were around, who were working within the intelligence community at this time who were so disgusted by what happened.
DNI Tulsi Gabbard has already turned over hundreds of documents to DOJ for criminal referrals. The conspiracy stems from a December 2016 National Security Council meeting, which included John Brennan and James Comey's right-hand man at the FBI, Andrew McCabe. According to Gabbard's declassified report, Obama ordered a new assessment on Russia's election meddling after Presidential Daily Briefing concluded that Russia did not hack the election. Instead, the Obama-directed assessment was published in January 2017, claiming that Russia interfered in the election to help President Trump. As the report was being drafted, a DNI whistleblower was sidelined for questioning why the assessment was contradicting earlier intel and pressured to accept the Russia hoax. But the contradictions didn't concern the leaders of Obama's intel community, including James Comey.
There should be no fuzz on this whatsoever. The Russians interfered in our election during the 2016 cycle. They did it with purpose. They did it with sophistication. They did it with overwhelming technical efforts.
And Obama's report was found to have even more problems. Earlier this month, CIA Director John Ratcliffe said it was, quote, conducted through an atypical and corrupt process under the politically charged environments of Brennan and Comey. Ratcliffe found the FBI leadership demanded it be included the infamous Steele dossier, a fraudulent document funded by the DNC and Hillary Clinton's campaign. And Brennan agreed, insisting that the dossier be included in the report, despite multiple senior CIA officials opposing its inclusion and one official warning Brennan that it risked, quote, the credibility of the entire paper. Brennan and Comey are already under criminal investigation, and as Gabbard prepares to release additional information, more officials could join them. Wow, Kevin, so lots of news today from Director Gabbard.
A lot of these people that are now being figured out, okay, who was behind all these things, the Russia hoax. Now these whistleblowers are coming out and saying, oh, you know what, yeah, they're right, this is how it actually happened. No, these people need to go to jail. Don't come and save yourself now because all of a sudden the intel that we have now is figuring out that Obama was behind this and his whole administration, basically. And now people that are involved or were around it now want to say something and speak out to save themselves, not do it for the American people. And these are the type of people we do not need in government. The people we need in government need to follow that they work for the American people. They don't work for the president. They don't work for other countries. They don't work for the corruption party. They work for the American people. And that's what we need to remind politicians every time they get into power. Every time.
Where do you think we go from here? And very interesting that additional whistleblowers may be bringing forth even more information that we haven't seen yet.
You know, there's a Latin saying, it's fiat justitia ruat caelum. Basically, let justice be done though the heavens fall. In other words, regardless of the consequences, we have to have justice if this was a criminal enterprise or conspiracy. Will that happen? I think Tom said it yesterday. It's highly doubtful, given that Washington doesn't like to police its own to the highest level. But I would also add this.
True.
Keep this in mind. If you look back at just the last, 4 or 5 years, think about all the high-level people, beginning with President Trump, who ultimately were arrested. I just saw a graphic the other day. It's got all these former Trump officials and people in his orbit. They were arrested for what they believed were violations of the law. If that's the same case and circumstance here, then let others be arrested as well.
And it's in addition to what we've known, because we were talking about this yesterday. Devin Nunes, everything he talked about is now coming out, okay? And so we already knew this because he ran a great investigation. We also had some great journalists and substackers who were revealing this information, but the mainstream media was denying it the whole time. Are they going to be able to keep denying it? The thing that prevented them last time was that the intelligence community kept saying, no, we got the goods. It's all secret. We can't show it to you, but we have a lot of stuff here. And, Adam Schiff would say the same thing in his, in his hearings. Now we've got the director of national intelligence putting this all on the table. Is the media going to be able to ignore it? Maybe, because like I said to Harrison Fields yesterday, I asked him, what's going to happen to these guys? And he said, well, they all work in the media now. Guys like Brennan and McCabe, they're all hired by major media.
Right, exactly. Exactly. They didn't cover the DNI report at all. And instead, they're obsessed with a number of other issues and this.
I didn't even think about that.
You even sent a letter to House Judiciary Chair Jim Jordan asking him to hold a hearing on this and subpoena some of Trump's top officials if necessary. Have you gotten a response? Do you think the pressure is doing anything at this point?
Well, we've had no direct official response yet, but Chairman Jordan has said that Attorney General Bondi will be coming in.
The people that have been fomenting this are right-wing influencers, members of Congress.
They want to show that they are loyal to this, I've called him so many things, but this wannabe Hitler for sure.
They're hoping this will split up the GOP, but a new Quinnipiac poll says otherwise. Trump has a whopping 90% approval rating among Republicans. And the poll was conducted during the release of the Epstein memo.
And listen, the Republicans, they're not going to agree with Trump 100%. But the majority of what they agree with is why they're going to stick to his side compared to the Democrats. And this is actually exploding on the Democrat side because they are not known to be fully transparent with the American people. Donald Trump came in during his campaign saying that he was going to be transparent. He did great things during his first term. We noticed and compared that to Biden's term and realized the majority of the American people said, you know what, we need Trump back because we allowed Biden to step in, giving him an opportunity, which that begs another question about how that election went in 2020. And now seeing what Trump is doing within the first 100 days, everybody's loving that he kept his promise on the mass deportations, cleaning up this country, getting rid of crime. It's going to take time, and he has 4 years to get this right, and this is going to determine his legacy. People are talking about, oh, well, maybe there's going to be a third term for President Trump. I don't believe that. I don't see that happening just because he is getting a little too old. He is too old, in my opinion. I don't have anything against old people, but if you're running the country of the United States, we need someone that's going to be aware, coherent, have young attributes in order to run this country and still be stern to put your foot down against other world leaders. Now, I'm not saying Trump doesn't have this. Trump definitely does have this, but there has to come a time when we need to pass the torch to someone younger. And now that, everything about Obama is coming out, I'm hoping this isn't a distraction from the Epstein files being released. They keep talking about Trump's pushing Pam Bondi into releasing what she thinks is credible to the American people. Stop with that shit. Release everything to the American people. I am not saying the American people want and need to see anything that has to do with underage or children being sexually abused. That's not what we want to see. What the people want to see is who is responsible for these things that happen on Epstein Island. Who is involved? Why are these people in jail right now? And it's because they're part of the corruption party I've been speaking of. And it looks like Obama and administration is part of that corruption, and it's slowly unfolding. And as long as everybody stays alive, we need to get the ball rolling and investigate it to really put some people away. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Like and subscribe, I would appreciate it. Till next time, peace out, everybody.